A Lover's Litanies, 10th Litany. Gloria in Excelsis. By Mackay. O love, O lustre of the sunlit earth that knows thy step and revels in the worth of thy much beauty. I at thy will anew, famed as thou art, to marvel that I sue with such persistence, and in such unrest amid the frenzies of my passion quest. Wilt look ungently, and without a tear, on all the pangs I bear at thy behest? Morning and eve I cease not, when I kneel to my Redeemer for my spirit's weal and for my body's, as becomes a man. Morning and eve I cease not in the span of all my days, O thou unconquered one, to pray for thee, and do what may be done to reacquire the friendship I have lost, which is the holiest thing beneath the sun. For what is fame that with so loud a voice o'ersways the nations? What the random choice of sight and sound which makes the place we fill so fraught with good, so redolent of ill? Where is the thunderstorm of yesternight that shook the clouds? And where the leaven's blight that spake of chaos in the judgment day? And where the wisdom of a king's delight? Could I be kissed of thee, or crowned of men, I'd choose the kiss. I'd be ordained then lord of myself, and not the slave I seem to each new doubt. Our tryst was like a dream and yet 'twas true, for oft, by wonder chance, we find the path to many a bright romance, and many a tilt and tourney of dear love in which the brave are vanquished by a glance. To lie alone with thee one little hour, and cling to thee as flower may cling to flower, with no rough thought beyond the peace thereof, to be thy comrade, and to don and doff the little chain that hangs about thy neck, to do all this, my fair one, and to fleck thine eyes with kisses, were a righteous deed, and not a thing for love to hold in check. Nay, there are dimples which I long to taste, and there's a girdle fit for Phoebe's waist which I would loosen. For I have the skill to handle lilies, and, by Venus's wool, I'd handle thee, and comfort thee therein. For love's a sacrament I'd die to win, and not a toy nor yet a subterfuge, and not a pitfall for the feet of sin. The searching suddenness of thy blue eyes, the flash thereof, the fire that in them lies, all this I yearn to, all the soul of thee shone in thy looks, as though to solace me in some disaster portioned out as mine. Where thou abidest, where thy limbs recline, where thou art absorbed in silence or in prayer, there stands a throne, there gleams a fairy shrine. I am, indeed, more subject to thy sway than trees are subject, in their tender way, to earth's great king revolving round the sphere. I am thy suffering servant all the year, and when I wake thy name is on my lips, and when I sleep I feel thy fingertips pressed on mine eyes, as if thy wraith were there, to save my soul from night's entire eclipse. Till I have heard from thee my doom of death I shall be proud to serve thee with my breath, and with my labor, and be thine. Withal as man as gods, content with any thrall that's bound in thee, content with any lot that's linked with thine, in some secluded spot which thou hast loved, O Lady, in the past, and where remorse and wrong will find us not. To know thee fair, ah God, how sweet is this! To find thee wavering, and to grasp in bliss only the dream of thee, how sad the while! And yet, by reason of a moment's smile, how grand to hope, how gracious to forget. Thou false to me, thou heedless of a debt of love's incurring? Nay, by Juno's crown, thy snow-white hand shall be my guerdon yet. The spirit love that leads us to the soul athwart the body is its fairest goal, the love that lives in languor undefined and yet is strong, the love that can be kind and yet aggressive as a soldier's blade, keen to the hilt, entranced and not afraid. This is the love that will survive the death of all endowments which the years have made. Wilt frown at this? Wilt chide me? Wilt appeal, as some are wont, when lovers, out of zeal, o'erstep the bounds of wisdom which hath ceased to win men's praise? The matins of the east sung by the lark, the credo of the cloud which oft he sings in confirmation proud of his great love, all this were mine excuse if I could sing as he, so dawn endowed. For I'd be welcome, then, where'er thou art, and gladden thee, and play as prompt a part as Romeo played with Juliet at his breast. Who loves not love, who hates to be caressed, is nature's bane, and all denounce him, too. For he's a foe to all that's just and true in earth and heaven, and when he seeks a joy, his quest shall fail, his hand shall miss the clue. XIV. We know these things, we know how dark a word may let in light, and how the smallest bird may mix the morn with music till we think the fire-lit air is wine for us to drink, and every drop salvation, every sound a muse's whisper, all the flower full ground of fancy carpet fit for knights to tread when on their way to Arthur's table round. XV. A peevish fool is he who will not raise his hands in prayer, among the danger days that come to all. For he, when waxen old, will search the past and find it callous cold, and all the future, too, will freeze for him. Nor shall he weep aright when tears bedim his desperate, doleful eyes that know not faith, and he shall hear no chants of cherubim. XVI. I was bewitched of late, my soul had met some fearful doom, and there had dropped a threat, a curse belike, from lips of Atropos. There had been done a deed of spirit loss which did o'erwhelm me as I paused thereat. But now 'tis shunned, and where a tremor sat now sits a hope, and where a gulf was seen now stands a mount as blessed as Ararat. XVII. The rose is silent, and the lily dumb for man alone. He sees them when they come glad from the soil, but what they mean thereby, and what they dream of, when they front the sky, eludes his learning. But the birds can tell. Moths talk to flowers, and breezes in the dell hear more confessions than we men reveal, and oaks and cedars love each other well. XVIII. In woodland places where the grass is lit with lamp-like flowers, I seem to see thee flit on azure wings, as if to bless the glade. For, everywhere, thy form in shine and shade doth come and go, conversant, as I deem, with nature's whims, for thou'rt of great esteem in fairy haunts, and elves and fays confess how sweet thou art, my love, and how supreme. XX. Diana's self was not more virgin proud. The maiden moon, new seated on a cloud that seems her throne where she receives the stars, the moon who holds her court beyond the jars of land and sea, the moon, the vestal moon, has kept thee cold since the transcendent noon of that wild day when I thy hand did claim, and when thy lips refused me their boon. XX. But thoughts are free, and mine have found at last their apt solution, and, from out the past, there seems to shine as 'twere a beacon fire, and all the land is lit with large desire of lambent glory. All the quivering sea is big with waves that wait the morn's decree, as I, thy vassal, wait thy beckoning smile athwart the splendors of my dreams of thee. Amen.